FCS parents, hope you guys have had a good week. It's been a hot week. I don't need to tell you that. It's been extremely warm, especially here on campus. 115 on Tuesday, and it's been warm throughout the week. It's supposed to be warm again today. 110 is what I saw earlier. We're going to try to keep things as cool as possible. Make sure you send water with your kids every day and encourage them to drink it. I see a lot of kids on campus with water bottles, and they're not drinking their water. It's the body's natural way of cooling off, so just make sure your kids have water every day, and we'll try to make sure that they're as cool as possible here. Obviously, Tuesday was a crazy day, 115 degrees, and the power goes out. Not much we can do about that. We tried to figure out what was going on. It turns out that you may have been in the office when you came to pick up your kids on Tuesday, and you may have seen the lights on. That's because there's 3 phases of power that come to campus, and only one of those phases was receiving full power. The other 2 were not. But with just one phase getting power on campus, there was not enough power to run the air conditioners. And so obviously things started to heat up even in the classrooms, which is why we made the announcement that if you wanted to pick up your kids early, you certainly could. And a lot of kids were picked up early. We did have some kids that were here till later in the day, but in the interest of safety for everybody, we wanted to make sure that parents had the option to pick up their kids early so that the kids can get into a cooler environments. And again, that's not something that we plan for or expect, but as you know, California is having a problem with the power grid right now. So I know some of you have lost power in your homes. I lost power at my home the other day as well. So we're doing our best. Generally, we plan to have school. I know many of you were asking like the next morning, is there school today? If we're not going to have school, you're going to hear specific information from us that we're not having school. And if you haven't heard that, then we are having school. We plan to have school every day. The school is scheduled on the calendar unless there's specific information to us that we cannot for some reason. And again, we will specifically communicate that to you if we are not having school. And then make sure that you are set up to get those remind texts from us. That's how we sent out the information on Tuesday. We set that up intentionally for a couple reasons. First of all, anytime we need to get information out quickly, that text is the fastest way that we can get information to you guys. Texts, people usually check right away. If we send an email, many people don't check their emails during the day. So if we just send out an email, that's probably not going to reach most of our parents. Texts usually get to you much quicker. In addition, in a situation like Tuesday where we had no power on much of the campus, and including no internet for much of the afternoon, our phones are the easiest way to get information out, and that text is the quickest and easiest way to get information out. Some of you were looking for information on how to sign up for that on the website. That information is not on the website, and that's intentional. Because if we have to send out emergency information, it's going to come from that text, and I don't want just anybody having access to that emergency information. So you will find that information on the newsletter that goes out every week. We send out our FCS newsletter. Listen, a lot of the information on there is the same. For example, the information on how to sign up for those text alerts is on that newsletter. But there's also different information that shows up, changes on the calendar, anything new that's coming up, that information will be there. So you want to check that newsletter every single week. And if you haven't looked there, that's where you find how to sign up for those text alerts from Remind. And again, we're not going to use that system very often. It is only for when we need to make a quick announcement about something, sometimes in an emergency situation like Tuesday because the power was out and it was getting very hot here on campus. Or if there's a last minute change in information, say we're having an event and something happens at the last minute, we need to get some information out quickly, we'll also use it then. But we're not going to inundate you with texts. Again, we rarely use that, only when there's a need for very rapid communication happening to parents is when we're going to use that remind text to you guys at home. All right, thank you for being very flexible on Tuesday. Hopefully we don't lose power again ever, but hopefully not again this week while it's been really, really warm. Coming up next week is the middle school and high school retreat. Man, kids are getting more and more pumped up. Yesterday all day, that's all they wanted to talk about. So that's going to be fun. By the end of this week, I will have a supply list for all the kids. I'll be sending that home to all of you parents. I'll probably give a copy here to the kids as well, so they know exactly what to bring. We talked about that stuff already this week. but there are certain very specific things they need to bring. Other things are kind of optional, but again, like I reminded last week, just make sure your kids aren't packing like their entire closet to come for a 3-day retreat. All right, so we're looking forward to that. Things are getting finalized right now. Everybody wants to know what we're eating every day. I don't know what we're eating every day. The cafeteria there handles that, but there are lots of questions kids have, most of which are pretty mundane questions, like what are we going to eat? But I know they're very curious. For many students, this is the first time being away from their parents doing something like this, so don't worry, you're in good hands. It's a Christian facility. It's a great place where we're going. They'll have us as staff there looking over them the whole time. We're going to have a great time next week, next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right, you'll be getting information hopefully by the end of this week about our color run. Our color run is slated for September 30th. That's a Friday here on school campus. So during that day, what we'll do is we'll have chapel in the morning, and then after chapel, we'll have a little bit of time for kids to get ready, set up the course, and then we'll have our color run on that Friday morning. We do need parent volunteers, so you'll probably be seeing a sign up for that. And then what a color run is, if you guys have never been here before, never experienced that, it's really, we set up a course here on campus for kids to run through. Kids, it's a fundraiser. And again, fundraising is for the families, it's not for the school. So any money that a family generates for the color run, they'll get pledges on how many laps they'll run, or they can take just flat donations. But it's more fun when you do it a donation per lap. And so however many laps the kids do, they can collect funds for that. And it's a great fun event. It gets the kids outside, gets them active, gets them moving around. Kids need to move around a little more. But it's also, what makes it a color run is we have colored cornstarch. And there'll be a station on the course where if the kids run through that, they'll have colored cornstarch thrown on them. Most of the kids like to wear white t-shirts, so it shows up really well on the white t-shirts. They can bypass the cornstarch station if they'd like, but it is a lot of fun. The kids all enjoy it. Parents enjoy it as well. So again, we will need parent volunteers for that day, so be looking for that Sign Up Genius to come out. And it's a great day. We'll have music playing. Kids will be running around. It's a great time. Everybody just kind of hanging out here on campus, enjoying the kids running around and maybe raising some funds. And again, any funds that the family generates during the color run goes back to that family to help lower their tuition costs. So it's our first big fundraiser of the year, and we're looking forward to that on September 30th. Okay, well, I hope you guys stay cool this week and this weekend. It's supposed to cool down eventually, I think after this weekend. Hopefully it's not too hot over the next few days. Again, if we'll keep you updated on everything going on here at campus. Hopefully we don't lose power again. I'm praying that that does not happen. Remember to conserve energy when you can. We're turning off lights everywhere when we're not using things, powering down things when they're not in use, so that we can try to conserve things here on campus as much as possible. We do want to keep things cool here as well. We want this to be a safe environment for all the kids here at FCS. So again, stay cool. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys real soon. God bless.